morning, good afternoon, good evening. Zimbabwe is a failed state. I've stated this on this platform countless times. It is a historic fact. One of the reasons why we are a failed state is that we have failed to hold free, fair, and credible elections ever since the country's independence in 1980. So it's 45 years and counting. We still cannot hold free, fair, and credible elections. And so we've been stuck with the corrupt, incompetent, and tyrannical Zanu PF dictatorship. 45 years. It was the former British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, once said that those who not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. On my WhatsApp group, this issue has been going on for the last 2 years. So I asked some of the members there, are you saying that you're not interested in knowing that Chamisa lied to you and millions of others out there and conned them to participate in flawed 2023 elections? And this is the cheeky answer I got.
You are much putting your emphasis on Chamisa takanyepa akadi. Zvozotibatsirei unoda kuti tidii kana urati ngatimboti tabvuta zvisina mukuvhudza tabvuma kuti Chamisa akanyepa urati zvinozotibatsirei senyika because isusu much of our emphasis must be on the ruling party. Those are the people vane matomu. Kunyepa kunoita ruling party over 1980 hautori nako handizi. But ndo vanhu vari Chamisa charakanyepa charakataura chokwadi handizi. He's an opposition member. Hazvina zvotipa zvichinji chinhu handizi. Iwe uri kuisa power rako kurwisa Chamisa. Isi tiri kuda kurwisa vanhu vari kutonga nyika, vari kugadzira nyika, vari kukonewa nyika handizi. It's either we fight them or we join them kuti tikadzirise nyika yacho inake. But your emphasis is on Chamisa chakadzira Chamisa zvozotipei tozodii handizi. Let's say tabvuma zvauri kutaura zvacho zvokuti akanyepera nyika, then what? Any opposition trying to find another opposition, leaving nyama ichienda. Imbwa dziri kudzingirira tsuro. Dzotanga kurwa idzo imbwa dzacho tsuro ichienda, saka zvine sense izvozvo. Hazvo zvaunomboshingirira zvakadhakwa iwewe. Uchitoti urati nditsigirei inini kuitira kuti ndikuzogadzirisa nyika or ndikuzofighta Zanu PF. No, we are not even talking about that. They're just fighting Chamisa. For what reason? No, hapana. Wazokutiudza kuti reason yacho uri kumutukira chii yaunomuvingira ndei. Why are you fighting him? Hapana. Saka unozo muntu udike.
Let me say this, because I've said it so many times on this platform. You have got to understand that the nation itself came to the conclusion by the late 1990s that Zanu PF was corrupt, incompetent, and a tyrannical regime. The idea that Zanu PF will reform itself out of office was discarded. They are the ones who created this corrupt, dysfunctional political system to stay in power. So the country had two options. Either we take up arms, as we did to fight to end white colonial rule, to remove the Zanu PF dictatorship, because they're not going to reform themselves out of power. Or we elect opposition members whose number one task would be to implement the democratic reforms to stop Zanu PF rigging the elections. The nation opted for the second solution. Let's elect opposition members whose number one task would be to implement the reforms. MDC was formed in 1999 on the promise they will implement those democratic reforms. So it makes sense to say, why is it that 25 years down the line, Zanu PF is still able to rig elections? To keep on saying, no, forget the opposition, let's just concentrate on the ruling party, is to fail to understand what decision was made in the late 1990s. You have already established as Zanu PF, the ruling party is a party of thugs. The only way you're going to end the dictatorship is to implement democratic reforms. You need somebody in the opposition to implement those reforms. Why is that so difficult to comprehend? People have risked livelihoods, limbs, and even lives electing the opposition these last 25 years. Why have you been electing them? What is the purpose of the opposition? Are they just there for decoration, or they've got another purpose to serve? I believe they have a purpose. The main primary purpose is that they implement the democratic reforms to end the Zanu PF dictatorship. How anyone can keep on arguing that, no, we forget the opposition, they are not important. Beggars belief. You can come to the same conclusion by saying, okay, we are where we are. How are we going to end the Zanu PF dictatorship? So you can ask a number of pertinent questions. Questions like some of them I put on the screen there. What is the secret of Zanu PF remaining in power for 45 years? Or you can ask, was there ever an opportunity to end the dictatorship in the last 45 years? What can be done to stop Zanu PF rigging 2028 elections which are coming up? Or what can be done to stop Zanu PF rigging 2028 elections and getting away with it? All those questions, if you explore them, you'll find with the answer you will get, if you are serious about finding a solution, yes, it will say, yes, you've got the Zanu PF with tyrannical powers. But a follow-up question to that is, why is it that that power, they've managed to retain it for 45 years? Surely there must be a way of ending that power. And it will lead you to the opposition. Yes, that is why we elected the opposition. And that answer will be saying, so why has the opposition failed to deliver? those democratic changes to stop Zanu PF rigging the elections. So either way, you will still come to the solution. That means you don't just look at the Zanu PF, you have to look at the opposition. The main reason, of course, why some people are obsessed each time you talk about holding Chamisa to account, it seems to get them fuming and frothing with anger, is because they cannot accept Chamisa being held to account. They cannot accept that Chamisa can be corrupt, incompetent, a liar, and a conman. Their personality cult mentality is so strong. This acceptance of, yes, okay, Chamisa lied. You can tell this is being done grudgingly. All right, okay, he lied. So it doesn't matter. Let's move on. You've got to ask, why did he lie? What was the consequences of his lying? In this particular case, when he told the people of Zimbabwe that he had plugged the vote rigging loopholes, Triple C was going to win big. The people believed him. They participated in those elections believing that Triple C was going to win big. He even evoked the name of God. Why is it that some people cannot accept that reality? That is not a trivial issue. Those people participated in their millions, believing that Chamisa had stopped Zanu PF rigging the elections. Why are you refusing to accept it? Because the reason why they are refusing to accept it is that they accept that
makorokoto Zimbabwe nokuti hakuna munhu anomira kana denga raronga plan. Denga raronga plan, denga harifo iri. Plan ya Mwari haifo iri. Ini ndatanga kugadzira cabinet. There is no way we are not going to form a new cabinet. There is no way we are not going to have a celebration. There is no way we are not going to have an inauguration. Let's start preparing for our inauguration. Let's start preparing for our celebration.
I repeat, Chamisa lied and conned millions to participate in those flawed elections, knowing fully well that Zanu PF was rigging those elections, knowing fully well that by participating, you are giving Zanu PF legitimacy and thus perpetuating the dictatorship. You cannot keep on pretending that you are keen to end the Zanu PF dictatorship when you are foolishly giving it legitimacy by participating in flawed elections. Winston Churchill was right. Those who refuse to learn from the past are doomed to repeat the same mistake over and over again. We in Zimbabwe have failed to hold free, fair, and credible elections for the last 45 years in this day and age, because we would not accept that the opposition that we elected has not been up to the task. And we are not even allowed to debate it Because to say Chamisa lied and he conned people is something that some people cannot stomach. I think the country has come to the crossroad. Universal suffrage has been a curse to Zimbabwe. That is the honest truth. We are given the right to vote to individuals who have no clue what that right entails. We have got such a personality cult mentality. They consider leaders to be gods. A healthy and functioning democracy demands that the people, the electorate, should be knowledgeable, educated, diligent, and objective. If you're not even objective to the point of you refusing to accept that Chamisa lied to you, and that lie has got serious consequences to the nation, then honestly, you should not have the right to vote. Because all you're doing is you're holding the whole nation to ransom. You're keeping those who have no interest in changing, bringing about meaningful change in government. "25 years and the opposition have failed to implement even one token reform to end the Zanu PF dictatorship. And you're still going and thinking that you should concentrate on Zanu PF. Zanu PF is not the problem. You are helping Zanu PF to stay in power by participating in flawed elections. That is the truth. And those who think that we should just concentrate on Zanu PF is because they don't want to learn from the past. They don't want to admit that the opposition has proven to be corrupt, incompetent, liars, and conmen. Well, that truth must be hammered. Chamisa should not be allowed to con people to participate in 2028 to perpetuate the dictatorship. And yet that is exactly where we are heading. Because some people believe Chamisa is a demigod. He can do no wrong. Chamisa is a mere mortal. He is corrupt, he is incompetent, he is a liar and a conman. We can stop Zanu PF, the Zanu PF dictatorship, by making sure that they do not get legitimacy in 2028. And that can be achieved by making sure that people do not participate in the flawed elections because they believed Chamisa's idiotic lies that he had plugged the vote rigging loopholes. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.